Hey everyone, it's Devlock. I think it's time for me to finally make a video on this whole issue thing about my small mini quad suit. This is really going to be the only time that I discuss it for two reasons. The first is that I am not here to fuel the drama or to spread negative energy, since that's kind of the opposite of my goal here and why I make videos. The second is because personally, I don't care what negative people think, but I wanted to speak up on the more broader issue. We as a fandom are honestly headed towards a very depressing state. Everywhere I look, I see people yelling at each other and trying to cancel each other because they don't share their exact feelings, morals, values, etc. And this is honestly crazy to me because we seem so intolerant of differences when we try to preach about the acceptance of differences. We want people to accept us, but then we immediately hate on each other for being different. It's extremely hypocritical, and it's gotten to a point where people just seek the negativity. There was one creator that posted a video on my small quadruped suit recently, or semi-recently, and whenever somebody commented something nice on it, they would immediately just delete the comment. Now, like I said, I couldn't care less personally, but it shows our priority in the fandom is not to create light, acceptance, and positivity, but instead ostracization, negativity, and hatred. We've reached a point where we are obsessed with in-group derogation, or more specifically, horizontal hostility. This is basically a psychological term when a group who's felt a pressure starts to hate on inner groups to try and gain acceptance. It's often done subconsciously, and we need to realize that hating on the inner groups of ourselves is not creating acceptance, but instead it's worsening it. The way we treat each other and the environment we create internally dictates a lot on how we are perceived as a fandom. If we are to be accepted, creating and strengthening hate gives more reasons for others to bandwagon and hate us. For example, I've started to see normies don't really hate on my small quadruped suit. It's really only becoming a problem when, furries come up and try to educate people and turn it into negative, or to try to get clout or whatever. Before that, most people just find it cute and silly. And when furries do this, they don't realize that they're not just turning hate for me, but they're creating hate for the entire community as a whole. But the reason I started making the videos I have been is to do the opposite. To pull away from the negativity and bring light to the community. My main goal is to make people smile, laugh, and just bring light to their day. I've gotten messages every day from people who thank me or tell me every time I post, I instantly just make their day and make them smile. This is not something I'm giving up on, so if you don't like what I do, I'm sorry to say that I just don't care. The reasoning I use this suit is to goof off and bring my character to life in a different way. Just like we as furries do, and just like what we are trying to get people to understand. One day, I'd like to make a video on answering questions from everybody about the suit, but in a broad sense, this suit came to be because I wanted a silly character who could make everyone laugh and smile. Some of you may know my character Devlock, who has a full quadruped suit, and when I started designing Zephyrus, the mini suit, he first has a bipedal suit, the suit that I'm actually wearing right now. But after a while, I kind of missed the quadruped aspect that Devlock had that I kind of wanted for Zephyrus, this suit. But I knew a 8-foot-long creature that comes from a traditional quad, like my dragon, would not really be ideal for him. So I designed a knee suit originally with the arms straight. A lot of people call this a crawling quad. And I was going to go through with it, but kind of upon further examination, it didn't quite give me the cute proportions I wanted. So they were slightly off, so I ended up actually making the arms bent, kind of like the corgi style of the suit. This gave the goofy energy that I was looking for, and this is honestly what I wanted the most. Another benefit that kind of came out to be a part of the suit was the compression of it. It ended up actually calming me down and kind of let me play into the character to the max degree. And for the people who want to make that negative, make that weird, make that uncomfortable or sexual or whatever, when it's not supposed to be, they are honestly just the problem. Unfortunately, I know no matter what, some people will never be emotionally mature enough in this fandom. But I think the people who try and spread their light, it honestly does more than you think. And the positivity you spread is the one thing that brings the smiles, goofiness, and unity of the fandom. So don't stop. We honestly just need more of it.